Hi, Eric. Hi, Courtney.
He says, "Hi, Mom." You've been busy this week.
Good. Helping people, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, he's been in a few of my sessions, so he's been hard at work. So.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Well, is he like pestering you or what? Or is he?
No. Just being, he was flickering the lights on one guy's session in his house, but that's okay. He was also helping him. So it's all good.
Sweet. All right. Courtney and Eric, we're going to bring in James Gandolfini. Can't remember the name of the show. The Mafia show.
The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, The Sopranos. Dang it. Sorry, Jimmy. Anyway, so before I start interviewing him while Eric is bringing him, maybe he's already here, I'd like to let you guys know that you can get in touch with Courtney at CourtneyDillon.com. She's a healer, a medical intuitive, and obviously a medium. So she's awesome. Also would like you to really consider subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Yeah. He's here. He's wearing a white, he walks in and he's sitting on it looks like a green velvet chair, and Eric's sitting on the chair next to him, and he has a white collared shirt and khakis, brown pants. He says, "Thanks for having me."
Oh, I'm so glad you came. So to be interviewed, I hate to say it, I know that Sopranos was such a wildly popular show, right up there with Friends, maybe even better, but I've never watched one. Maybe I need to start binging on it.
Well, he thinks you need to start, he says, but he forgives you. He says,
"Thank you."
He says, "Thanks for having me." He's been kind of waiting to talk for a little while. So,
well, I know we've had these lists from people for a long time. We might have to do 2 sessions. Well, okay, I'm going to just start reading questions from the community, from the CE community, the channeling area community. Did you know your time was coming? Did you somehow have any signs beforehand?
1 second. Okay. Well, he says, if you mean the way I ate and drank, it looks like I see cigars and smoking. So he shows me that he didn't have the healthiest lifestyle.
Okay.
So he had a sense that he didn't know he was going to drop from a heart attack right then, but he had a sense that his time was coming.
Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was the fact that you had a heart attack some sort of contract, or was it just free will, unhealthy lifestyle
choices?
So not was not a contracted exit point.
Well, he can see now that he's like, I see now that we have a lot of choice in the matter. He's showing me 4 possible exit points. It looks like he chose the second one, so there was 2 more after. He wishes he had just decided to stay around a little longer, because it felt like he cut short. He actually likes being in the world.
Oh,
and I hear this.
He prefers the earthly plane to heaven. Is that like you?
Yeah, he likes being in the world. He likes human pleasures. Yeah. He's showing me, and the reason I'm laughing is you're showing me some pictures of beautiful women. So I'm like, okay, enough of that. He likes food and being in the world and human pleasures and travel, and so he misses it.
Yeah.
He misses it. Yeah.
Okay. What was your soul contract here, and did you choose this exit point? So anyway, you did choose this as an exit point, right?
He sped it up. I sped it up.
Okay, now I get it, because I was a little confused.
Yeah.
What was your greatest realization about the spirit realm when you crossed over? And I mean, really, let's start out with what your beliefs were. What were your beliefs before?
He says, I'm not what you would call a spiritual guy necessarily. I did believe that there was something on the other side, but he wasn't necessarily spiritual. Okay. But he's showing me that he believed in being a good person, it's funny because of the contrast he plays in
Oh,
his
yeah.
characters,
Yeah.
but he believes in being kind to others, being a good person, and, you know, showing people you care. So he was really like caring, kind, and generous guy, it
Well,
looks
that's
like.
so nice. Let's
Yeah.
talk about your childhood.
Um,
Tell me about family life as a child growing up.
he said Jersey is his home.
Okay.
And so he didn't have a hard time playing that character. He shows me how he would get into character too. We can talk about that later. But he says just a regular life. He said, believe it or not, I was thin once. So he shows me a picture of him playing, what is it, basketball? Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like a thin guy, and he reaches up to shoot the hoop. He looks like he was very popular in high school, had a lot of friends, and was really well liked. He was friends with everyone. And so he's kind of been like that he feels like that as a soul, that he was really easy for me to be friends with, and he makes me laugh and smile when I talk to him. And he feels like a really good guy to all. He shows me he didn't like learning at all, like didn't like the being sitting at a desk, was not for him.
Yeah.
But he liked the social aspect of school.
Okay. Now,
he's very connected to his family in Italy too. So it looks like he would go, he didn't go that much when he was young, but there's a really strong connection, and he would often travel there and see family.
Who were you closest to, your mother or your father?
Definitely mother. It feels like he has a very strong, still to this day, strong connection with his mom.
What about
very
siblings?
loving?
Well, I don't even know if you had siblings, but if you did, who were you closest to, sister or brother?
I'm seeing a male. So is this your brother? Okay, yeah. He feels connected to I think it's his brother. I don't think this is a friend. And but generally, his childhood isn't anything too traumatic or complicated.
Okay. All right. Fine. We can go on. James, I'd like to know, who were you most excited to see and chat with once you crossed over?
Let me see. His mother.
Okay.
He feels really connected, and I can see the soul connection is really profound, and it's across multiple lifetimes. Like they keep incarnating together, and really feels a strong bond and connection. So that's who he saw.
What is your favorite thing to do in the spirit realm?
He misses drinking wine. So he shows me a glass of wine. He's been working hard. Let's see, what's he doing? A little of this, a little of that.
Okay.
He's been working hard on the other side. He still likes the arts and acting. And so he has been going to school, but not in the way we think of it, with desks and chairs.
No, not for him.
He doesn't like any of that. So he actually does like lots of things about art on the other side,
like nudging artists and actors.
Yeah, like helping artists and actors,
influencing them in some way.
Exactly.
Cool.
Bring their work forth. So he likes to think of himself as just a regular guy, not really anybody special. But he does think that if he has a gift, or if he has an ability, it's to make people think differently about themselves, and his ability to bring through a character. He says that he's going to just admit this though. The woman, Edie Falco, is a much better actor than he is. So he's just going to admit that.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
So what do you think about, I'm digressing here, but what do you think about the whole thing with the accidental shooting of Alec Baldwin at the movie set? How could a live round get into a prop gun?
The whole thing smells of rotten fish.
Mm.
It feels like there's some other agenda here or something at play.
Oh, so maybe some foul play. Somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. Well, they'll find them. James, can you please describe your crossing over and the feelings and the moments of your crossing? And was there anything that totally blew your mind?
When he falls to the ground, he looks around, he leaves his body, and he takes him a minute because he says to me, "What the hell just happened?"
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Very disoriented.
Yeah.
There was a sense his health was declining, his heart, his cholesterol, the way he lives his life, his lifestyle, but he doesn't know it's like, you don't know what you don't, you're kind of just going along. Bitterness in his first divorce also. That said, though, what the hell just happened? And then there was a secondary feeling of really just wanting to get back in his body because of his son.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
his son looks like he's a little older now, a teenager, I think.
Okay.
But after that, he decides, well, he realizes that he sees light and he decides to move toward the light. We have a choice, but he knows it's time. It's in his best thing to do, best interest.
What does that feel like?
Peaceful, calm, everything that they say in the movies, but more. But he does miss food. He misses food. He likes food a lot. He misses women, beautiful women. He misses walking on the earth, although he might choose a different body. He thinks he's going to take better care of his body next time.
Well, that's good. So was there anything that was a shock to you during your whole process of transitioning?
Yeah, I mean, it was a real shock. What the hell just happened? I mean, because it feels very sudden. It's like,
okay, that was the shock. Not
it shows me
anything shocking about the afterlife. Oh, go ahead.
3 days before he passes, he has some sense that something's wrong. Yeah. But he's not one, he doesn't like doctors at all. And he's not one to, stop. If you have to go to the doctor, just go to the doctor. Okay. Yeah. He's telling people, because it's like, there's a lot of this, like, oh, I'm fine. I don't want to go to the doctor.
Or especially with guys.
Yeah. Don't do that. Just go to the doctor. Not that he can see now that it probably wouldn't have changed the outcome, but he just would avoid that. He wouldn't go. Yeah. What's shocking about the other side, that you can see all of this is basically a big game.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to know how to play it.
That is really, this life is the illusion. This reality is the illusion. Where you are now is the real thing, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He just shows me a chessboard and how we're sort of all just pieces in this game. The point of this is to remember and be kind to people. Yeah. All right. Did playing a character of lower consciousness affect your own personal frequency in a negative way? And does watching movies, TV series pertaining to the dark side of your life affect the viewer's frequency? What a great question. I hear yes and no. He wouldn't have ever used the word frequency. He thinks it's a funny way to describe a person. But did it make me let me see. Oh, he's saying it brought him to he's more in touch with his own dark side. Okay. But he's also saying, like, there's a point in all this. It's not just so we can focus on the dark side. It's because I portray an aspect that exists in all humans. whether we like it or not.
Yeah. It's that contrast in life and within us.
And he's showing me, it's like, if we don't ever acknowledge darkness, how are we supposed to understand light?
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole human experience right there. Mr. James, was it wasted time watching this serial from the spiritual point of view?
Yeah, I'm sorry, he said, repeat the question.
Was it wasted time watching this series from the spiritual point of view? I think
No.
the opposite is probably the whole thing we were talking about with contrast.
Well, he says it depends on what you're after. Okay. You know, if you're like me, you wouldn't understand contrast through reading books, through sitting at a desk, through listening to a spiritual lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah. This helped me, he's showing me himself as a soul. It helped him bring something to the world. It was something he could offer, helped him better understand himself. I think that could help other people in some way.
Okay, I'm sure it did. What advice can you give to people living a life of crime?
Be smart about it. He's making a joke.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, basically. Well, he's saying, well, okay. One of the things he can see is that all of our choices have consequences. He likes to call them, all of them.
Yeah.
So even if we don't see a direct consequence after we commit a crime, it will have a consequence in a next life or on the other side. So it's wise to make, not necessarily get involved in that kind of thing because of your choices.
Yeah.
It's like, I think he's talking about karma, basically.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Was there any scene in the TV show series that haunted you the most?
He's laughing. Take your pick. Some of the gruesome depictions of killing, like where he had to physically kill someone.
Okay, I will have to turn. Let me mute because the Instacart is here.
Okay. So the choices that like if he was physically having to, kill someone or murder, any of those things would affect him for a few days. And, it's like hard when you're so in character. Sometimes it's hard, it takes a few days to unwind. So.
I can imagine. Sorry about the dogs, people.
That's okay.
I heard you would hit yourself on the head, stay up all night, drink many cups of coffee, or walk around with a rock in your shoe to get the desired depiction of Tony that you wanted. Is that true? I'm going to mute again.
Yeah, all that is true and more. It looks like he did something with a chair where he would like knock his arm. I don't know what this is. He's like hurting himself, but it would be to bring up feelings of anger and violence in him so that he could, really get into it.
Because that was, I guess, not your regular normal demeanor. Okay, at what
No,
point?
not at all. Actually, you know what's so interesting about him? And I just want to say this.
Yeah.
He's actually like a really gentle soul.
Some people say he's shy. And
like sweet and gentle and kind. And so it's so funny to me that that's what he played, because it's a total study in contrast.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And that's one question. Why were you so shy? And what would you recommend to someone who struggles with shyness, anxiety, social anxiety in particular?
He smiles. He says, learn how to act, because then you can play someone else.
Yeah.
So that's part of how he dealt with it.
Oh my
He's
God.
social. And you know what's so interesting? Yes, he's shy, but he also has a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So he shows me in school, he actually was pretty social. I feel like he had a lot of friends, he wasn't like an outcast, or he had a ton of friends.
So he pushed himself.
So he pushed himself, and he knew how to like kind of be apart. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Embody a character,
Yeah.
getting that sense about him. So learn how to act. And
Well,
he's showing me, you know, to tell people that he's just a regular guy, but
Yeah.
it's a good idea to do something with your life, to figure out a way to bring your energy and all of your energy into something and
All
do
right.
something.
Good. But did you actually ever know who you really were? Because you were in character a lot in life and on, you know, in the behind the camera or in front of the
I
camera.
mean, yes and no. I knew who I was in a way as James, but I've since Jimmy.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I was also very influenced by what other people wanted me to be.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Most of us are, I guess.
And
At what
so
point?
shows me also, one second, when the flashlight bulbs started going off, that really, it was hard. It made him really
Oh.
uncomfortable. So even though he wanted fame and it was a dream come true, it still was like he wanted to hide, kind of like he
Oh.
was never comfortable in front of like press or
Yeah.
movie premieres, or his show
Yeah.
premiere rather, and that type of thing. I mean,
Okay.
not at all. He actually liked being on stage in a theater. He didn't get to do, he did some of it. It
Okay.
feels like he's showing me early on, but he would have liked to do a little more of that.
All right. Who's your favorite modern time actress and actor?
Edie. So I guess that's Edie Falco. She is one in a million. That woman can throw me under the table with her acting. He's just really complimentary toward his co-star.
What about your favorite male actor?
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. Okay. At one point, you gained a serious amount of weight because you felt a successful mob boss should be heavier to physically show his success. Well, first of all, is that true?
Yes, I'm laughing because he said he didn't have a hard time getting in character.
Oh, okay. So there actually was some intention or maybe a justification.
It feels like intention, yes. Justification, yes. Maybe a little of both.
Okay.
I think he was showing us a thin version of himself. Like, I didn't even know that he was really actually thin and trim at one time.
Okay.
He didn't really have a hard time doing it though, but then it got away from him. He got too heavy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Where did you learn to eat? The breathing pattern, the mannerisms, like an Italian born, not so fresh over the boat, off the boat, father-in-law Pasquale. I don't know what that is. Acting classes, studying someone. You had it down so perfectly.
Well, he
even left.
It's all around him. It's his whole world.
Okay.
It's his whole world. He grows up. You know, he's showing me like the uncle over there, and he's saying like uncle because it's like everybody's an uncle. Everybody's an uncle.
Yeah.
And you know, some of those uncles, they had some things that they were involved in.
Oh, okay.
So he just paid attention, and then you know.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What got you interested in acting? Was it something you gravitated to as a kid?
Not necessarily. He wasn't like, oh, he's showing me a picture of Marlon Brando again. So there's something he sees Marlon Brando and likes him, but he doesn't think that this is going to be necessarily his path, but he's not sure. He's like, struggles to find something that he's good at. Okay. Not much of a student. He's showing me C's. So I feel like his grades aren't, you know, they're okay. They're not great. Not a few D's in there. And then it looks like he does something small, like a community theater or school play. And he feels this feeling he's never had before. It's like lights him up. Oh. And so he gets the bug at this point.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool. Did you channel into your son for his role playing a younger version of yourself, or was it taught to you? Like, did you channel into your son?
He
for
doesn't, he
his
shows
role
me
playing?
he didn't channel into his son, but his son is talented in his own right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the real meaning of the final scene of the very last season?
He just has a big smile on his face. He's like, what do you think? This is asking the
So he wants
person
us to
asking.
think of, he wants us to.
Yeah,
think
but
of
he's
love.
also he wants to kind of leave this open-ended because this
Oh,
is
okay, yeah.
his masterpiece.
Yeah.
Really, I think he sees it as his, not just his. I mean, there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but we show the underside of the world that exists. We show aspects of darkness in everyone.
Right.
You can learn a lot. You know, we don't want to stay in the darkness, but you can learn a lot from that darkness.
So you don't want to give the real meaning, because then that seems to constrain it too much. It should be
Yeah.
open to interpretation.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy the most about acting?
The feeling, he had the bug.
Yeah.
And he shows me, actually, this is surprising to me, but a theater, and I feel like it must be on Broadway. Is it on Broadway? It's in New York.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if he did a play. Yeah, I'm sensing that he did. And he loved, actually, even more than, although he did like filming The Sopranos, even more than that, he loved being on stage.
Okay.
And kind of interacting with the audience in some way. There's some energy from it.
I'm sure it's different.
Yeah, it's like nothing you can even describe until you do it. So.
Okay. Tony Soprano seems to have gone through some spiritual awakening during certain moments in the show. What was the purpose of adding those scenes? Give you more depth.
Yeah, he's saying that it adds no person is just one thing. Yeah. And what he was trying to portray is complexities in human character, right? Yeah. Like that we're all these. Tony is a complex being, or he says he tried to portray him that way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, you don't want to be monotone, of course. That would be boring. All right, James, I want to know about the worst and most evil things you saw in Hollywood or just in the entertainment industry that shocked you. Anything?
You know, it's interesting. He says that he stays out of that world a lot. He doesn't really like, I don't think he goes to a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay. So nothing. He avoided it on purpose.
He did. Yeah, he keeps to himself. He said, I was just a fat guy from Jersey. That's not very nice.
Who's the love of your life? Who is the love of your life?
He has several loves. You know, when I got divorced, it looks like it was really ugly.
Okay.
So I think he's married two times. Yeah, I don't think three. No, two.
Okay.
When he gets divorced, it was really ugly, but he can see now the love that they have for each other, and he's sorry.
Yeah.
Because I think must have been saying they were fighting back and forth and saying not nice things to each other.
Yeah.
So he loved her, and he loves Michelle. Is that somebody? Michelle must be his wife.
I don't know.
Okay.
But also your two wives, and of course your mother and your son. I mean, so you have
his son feels like his ultimate love.
Oh.
And I see a little girl too, so I'm wondering if he has a daughter. Yeah, his son and his daughter. Okay.
Oh. Let's see. Was the role of Tony Soprano in the show itself based on real life mafia events and a certain mob boss?
He smiles, he kind of rolls his eyes, and he's like, what do you think?
Oh, you always say that.
Yes.
Probably,
yes, absolutely. Based on real people, real lives. This was going on when he's growing up. This is, yeah.
What was there? Is there a certain mob boss that was the main? It was mostly.
Yes, there are. I mean, this is like of times past, but there are people, families who run different parts of Jersey at this time. I mean, really.
So somebody, a mob boss from Jersey. You probably don't want to give the name. That's fine.
No.
All right. You don't want your life endangered. Was there a
family?
Was there a subject that you wish any of your characters would have highlighted that didn't get highlighted? Perhaps something near and dear to you or someone close to you?
No, he's happy with how things were portrayed.
What was your favorite meal?
It's a plate of pasta and a glass of red wine.
Oh God, I'm so hungry right now. What is your proudest accomplishment in life?
Being a father, but he wishes he had more time.
Yeah.
But being a father, and he is proud of his show. He is proud of the Sopranos.
Yeah, it should be. It was so wildly popular. Have you ever been in the Mafia in another life?
No comment.
Well, were you or not? Probably.
He's making a joke. He likes to joke around.
Yeah, I can tell.
Were you in a Mafia in another life? Connected with a Mafia family, yes.
Okay, but not in the Mafia?
No, connected.
All right, can you describe another life of yours that most influenced your one is James?
Sure.
Gandolfini?
Okay, I see an image. Oh, interesting. So he's brought this artistic energy, which is what this is, through in another lifetime. In this other lifetime, he is where is he? France, and he is a painter. A woman. He's a painter, and he is like really actually very talented artist. So is this somebody famous, or I need to know? She doesn't look super famous, but what is coming through is some of that same artistic energy, the need to express yourself artistically as a soul.
What time period was this?
I'm seeing the 1920s.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you plan to reincarnate soon?
Getting around to it. Yes.
I think you probably would. You love Earth. You love Earth and all pleasures.
He's on the fence about male or female, woman or man. So
what have you usually been, male or female?
It looks like 60% male, 40% female, give or take, approximately.
All right. What do you think your spiritual mission was, and what were you here to learn, and what were you here to teach? Because sometimes that might be the same components of the spiritual mission.
I wouldn't call myself a teacher. If anything, I'm here to remind people that they can, so it's like about self-expression and something about highlighting the dark side. It's important to highlight the dark side.
Yeah,
it's important to look at all of it.
Many layers to each.
Yeah, because he's saying it wasn't exactly like he would have said this, but it's like we judge people so easily. And when we understand that we are capable of both good and bad, it can help a person be less judgmental.
Yeah, I love that. What were you here to learn?
Honesty.
Okay. All right.
I didn't always honesty with myself. Okay. Honesty with myself. Overcoming shyness. Oh, that's sweet. And he had some karma to work out in his relationships, romantic relationships. We're still working on that a little bit.
Okay. Do you have any regrets besides leaving too soon? Things with your first wife, obviously. But
sometimes being too busy to pay attention to my kid.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's not saying he's a bad father, but he
wanted more time to pay attention to both of them or all of them. Do you have any final messages for humanity? Any advice? Anything?
Eat healthy. He's smiling. It's a
Yeah.
joke. Yes, he says that we can learn from the mistakes of the past and learn to be kind to one another. If we can do anything,
Important.
you just be kind. Be
Yes.
kind to one another.
Yeah, kindness is so important.
And express yourself.
Yeah. Do you want
in
to
whatever way.
You want to share anything fun that nobody knows about about you, except for you?
He's saying that a couple of things that he's just making a joke. That penny in his shoe
Okay.
really hurt, but he would
A
keep
rock
it
or
in there.
penny?
I see a penny. Well, it depends on the day. He would put a little pebble,
Okay.
but then he also puts this penny,
Okay.
and it would kind of cut into his foot.
Oh,
It
okay.
looks like it really hurt. I'm like,
Ow.
and he would keep it in there as he would keep it in there like the whole week as he was filming.
Yeah.
He believes in doing the right thing, but he's also a little superstitious.
Oh, fun. All right, Eric, do you want to ask, or Courtney, do you want to ask anything of James?
As he said it, oh yeah, in 1 second, but as he said it, the thing about superstitious, this black cat just like walked across the room.
Funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Eric
All
was
right,
making a joke.
Is there anything else you want to share, Jimmy?
Focus on being a good person. My message is simple. It's not complicated.
I'm going to go binge on Soprano today, or this weekend, maybe, anyway.
I hope you like it. He says. He says he hopes you like it.
I will. I can already tell I will. Thank you so much. It was such an honor.
Thank you
To talk to you.
Eric says he'll see you tomorrow. I guess you're doing work with him tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Always, every day. I love you. Courtney Dillon at CourtneyDillon.com, people.
Thank you.
And Courtney, you want to say anything else?
I'm just coming out of this. Thank you for, find me on CourtneyDillon.com, and that's it. I can't think of anything else to say.
Love you all three, and love you guys watching. Thank you. Like the video if you did. Bye.